Hello and good afternoon. I'm Mohana Priya. Welcome to News on 2. The top stories in a moment, but first, the Election Commission, EC, in an announcement today, said that the State Assembly by-election for N27 Balakong is set for September 8th, which is on Saturday. EC Deputy Chairman Tan Sri Othman Mahmud said nomination will be on August 18th, which is also on a Saturday. September 4th, which is on Tuesday, has been fixed for early voting. The seat fell vacant following the death of its Assemblyman Ng Tien Chi in an accident at kilometre 11.7 of the Grand Saga Highway on July 20th. Moving along, continuous rain for 4 hours late last night had caused several areas in Pulau Pinang, especially in the interiors of Georgetown, to be hit by flash floods. Among the worst hit areas included Jalan Tan Lu Gi in Taman Free School, Jalan York, Georgetown, and Jalan Ismail Chekmat of Jalan P. Ramlee. Firemen received a distress call around 3:30 a.m. and rescue efforts were made to bring out the victims, 4 men and 2 women, from their houses. A fire and rescue department spokesman said there was over 1 meter of water when they arrived at the area. Rain had stopped falling on the island by 7 a.m. The Pulau Pinang Island City Council said in a post on its Facebook page at 8:22 a.m. that water was receding at Jalan P. Ramlee, but vehicles were still not allowed to pass. However, it said that the water had fully receded from Jalan Trunggan. 5 schools in Pulau Pinang remain closed following the spread of the hand, foot and mouth disease, HFMD, which has infected several students. State Agriculture, Agro-Based Industry, Rural Development and Health Committee Chairman Dr. Afif Bahruddin said the classes involved were closed for 10 days to enable cleaning work to be carried out to ensure that other students were not infected with the disease. Dr. Afif said apart from the 5 schools, 3 nurseries, 4 kindergartens and a preschool were also closed due to HFMD. A total of 2,854 HFMD cases were recorded since January until yesterday, including the latest 41 cases compared to 1,417 cases for the same period last year. 13 children infected with HFMD were still being treated at hospitals, including private hospitals, and all of them aged between 1 and 10 years were reported to be in stable condition. Meanwhile, Deputy Health Minister Dr. Lee Boon Chye has urged the public not to take lightly the current situation of the hand, foot and mouth disease in realizing the importance of cleanliness in all areas, especially public places.
Di mana memang kesedaran daripada masyarakat telah meningkat dan saya rasa usaha-usaha sedemikian akan membantu kementerian, membantu kerajaan untuk menyekat sebaran HMMD dan di tempat-tempat awam. Kalau semua melibatkan untuk menjaga kebersihan, saya pasti dan yakin kita dapat mengawal penyakit ini.
Dr. Lee said this during his working visit at the Pharma Fest 2018 at RTC in Gopeng, Perak. The Health Ministry has stepped up its efforts to tackle the spread of the virus, hence given directives at kindergartens and nursery operators and also schools to conduct a filtering process at all its entrances. Johor recorded a 31% drop of dengue fever cases at 1,414 and another 50% drop in dengue-associated deaths at 7 cases from January to July 21st. State Health, Environment and Agriculture Committee Chairman Dr. Shahruddin Jamal said a total of 3,110 cases of dengue fever with 7 deaths were recorded during the period, compared to 4,524 cases with 14 deaths recorded in the same period last year. Dr. Shahruddin said although Johor has performed well in reducing dengue cases, it is still the most contagious disease reported by the State Health Department. The State Health, Environment and Agriculture Committee Chairman further said the good performance is driven by the collaboration between various ministries and agencies through the Dengue Special Task Committee.
Kes dengue akan meningkat. Jadi kita kena pastikanlah kita buat pencegahan lah. Pastikan jaga kebersihan dan semua tempat-tempat yang boleh menakung air hendaklah dimusnahkan.
He said this after officiating the state-level ASEAN Dengue Day, themed One ASEAN Community Against Dengue in Johor Bahru, Johor. The Malaysian embassy in Indonesia is making arrangements to bring home the remains of the Malaysian woman killed in the earthquake in Lombok, West Nusa Tenggara, Indonesia. Malaysia's Deputy Ambassador to Indonesia, Zamshari Shaharan, said the body of Siti Nur Ismawida Ismail will be transferred to the General Hospital, West Nusa Tenggara Province in Bandar Mataram before being flown home. Zamshari also said Malaysian embassy officials would arrive in Lombok today to assist in the process and also to help other Malaysians stranded by the earthquake. He said as of 4 p.m. yesterday, 2 groups of Malaysian tourists had been given appropriate assistance by the Indonesian authorities. The Malaysian Deputy Ambassador further said the embassy was also informed that there were still Malaysians in Lombok but were unable to be contacted at this point of time. Malaysians who are in Lombok and need consular assistance are requested to contact the embassy via email mwjakarta@kln.gov.my or jconsular, KONSULAR @gmail.com or phone number 6221-522-4947 or WhatsApp 6281-3808-13036. Meanwhile, Malaysia has offered assistance in search and rescue operations as well as for rehabilitation for victims following the earthquake disaster in West Nusa Tenggara and Lombok yesterday. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail said that National Disaster Management Agency or NADMA had been placed on standby to assist in search and rescue operations.
Kita memang ada tawaran untuk kita tolong dan kita menunggu kalaulah apa-apa yang diperlukan oleh pihak Indonesia untuk adakan kita bagi rombongan kita untuk pergi tolong search and rescue dan buatkan kerja-kerja pemulihan.
She said this to reporters after attending a tea party with the PKR machinery for the Sungai Kandis state by-election in Shah Alam, Selangor. The Deputy Premier was commenting on the 6.4 magnitude earthquake that jolted West Nusa Tenggara and Lombok yesterday morning, in which Malaysian citizen Siti Nur Ismawida Ismail, 30, was also killed. The victim was reportedly with 17 other Malaysians participating in a climbing mission to Mount Rinjani, an active volcano in East Lombok, when the trembler struck. According to East Lombok Police Chief M. Eka Fahur Rahman, Siti died when the walls of a building collapsed on her. PKR President Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail has reminded the Pakatan Harapan machinery not to get comfortable in facing the coming Sungai Kandis by-election. She said although PH had a big victory in the last 14th general elections, that should not be a reason not to work hard towards ensuring victory this August 4th. Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah, who is also the Deputy Prime Minister, said what is important is to ensure that all the eligible voters head to the polls, especially those from the younger generation.
Ini memang salah satu daripada kesilapan. Khilaf kita kalau kita rasakan dah okey dah, tak payah apa-apa. Tadi saya dapatkan maklumat bahawa 40% adalah anak-anak muda. Anak-anak muda ini mestilah dirangsangkan dan diberikan kesedaran bahawa mereka mesti keluar mengundi beramai-ramai. Sebab ini adalah salah satu daripada tanggungjawab. Ya.
Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah was speaking at an evening event and a flag-off ceremony for a convoy of more than 100 Kota Raja Angkatan Muda Keadilan motorcyclists held in Jalan Bukit Kemuning. The convoy is taking part in a campaign effort to the run-up of the Sungai Kandis by-election. Meanwhile, slanderous accusations have been thrown by the opposition, including a belly dancing issue, which will not affect PKR's campaign in the Sungai Kandis State Assembly by-election. PKR's hopeful Muhammad Zawawi Ahmad Mughni said the opposition is finding ways to flame up the heat towards the election.
Saya tidak pasti niat dia sebab banyak video-video yang cuba untuk memfitnah saya kaitan dengan gelik lah, kemudian dengan durian ataupun isu sekolah. Jadi sengaja untuk memanaskan suasana pilihan raya kali ini. Pada saya tidak memberi apa-apa kesan yang ketara lah.
He added that PKR has always abided by the rules and laws set for the campaign. A total of 1,100 residents of the Bukit Jalil One Malaysia Civil Servants Housing or PPA1M project who have received their house keys but have not moved in yet have been asked to put it off for a month. Housing and Local Government Minister Julai said this was due to the fact that many complaints had been received regarding problems in the residential building, including non-compliance with specifications by the developer.
So, selepas sebulan itu, JKR Ikram akan membawa laporan itu kepada komiti yang tadi saya sebut tu, dan mereka akan memastikan, Cik Jaya terutamanya akan memastikan bahawa developer akan melaksanakan kerja-kerja defect, kerja-kerja komplain, kerja-kerja yang tak siap lagi, whether it's in common area ataupun in the private units.
The minister said this after a 2-hour meeting with developers and Bukit Jalil PPA1M residents in Kuala Lumpur. Zuraida said most of the problems raised by the owners at the scheme were believed to have cropped up as it was completed 17 months earlier than expected. The government is studying to amend the Wildlife Conservation Act 2010 by introducing mandatory jail sentences against individuals caught hunting wildlife illegally. Commenting further, Minister of Water, Land and Natural Resources, Dr. Xavier J. Kumar said his ministry would work with the Department of Wildlife and National Parks or Perhilatan to improve the act to prosecute illegal hunters accordingly.
Mandatory penjara kalau kita boleh dapat kerjasama dari tentera dengan polis, ataupun kita boleh convince the AG's chambers dan sebagainya untuk shoot on site dan sebagainya. I will encourage it and I will take it up with the relevant bodies in order to make the act more meaningful.
Dr. Xavier also said that by strengthening the Act, enforcement could be boosted, and the government will make the amendments because it is understood that the existing Act does not facilitate the enforcement process. He said this at a media conference in conjunction with the Global Tiger Day celebration organised by the World Wildlife Fund Malaysia at the Tuanku Bainun Children's Creative Centre in Kuala Lumpur yesterday. The Global Tiger Day is celebrated on July 29th each year to foster awareness of the importance of tiger conservation to the world community. The Ministry of Agriculture and Agro-Based Industry will announce the new chairman of the Muda Agricultural Development Authority or MADA in no later than 2 weeks. Its Minister, Datuk Salahuddin Ayub, said his ministry was at the final stage of the selection as it had to take into account the capability of the candidate to take on the responsibility.
Dia akan mengambil kira tentang keupayaan, pengalaman dalam pentadbiran dan juga pengalaman mereka dalam mengurus tadbir rakyat ini. Jadi kita harus ada kombinasi, ada orang politik dan ada kepakaran dan juga pengetahuan dalam bidang yang tertentu.
The minister said this at a gathering with MADA farmers leaders in Alustar, Kedah. Prior to this, Dato' Othman Aziz was MADA chairman. Meanwhile, when commenting on 3 projects under the supervision of MADA involving about 61,246 hectares of paddy fields in the MADA area, Dato' Salahuddin said the government would review the projects. And that concludes this afternoon's News on 2. In our top story today, Malaysia offers SAR assistance to Indonesia. Join us again at 7 this evening. I'm Mohana Priya. Thanks for watching.